Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And with that, we're going to be concise and get right to our guest today. So question number 1, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm Mo Reeder. I'm the co-founder and COO of V-School, a technology boot camp that helps folks learn a skill set in technology and get a job.
Well, with things going online, that's probably a lot more applicable and more in demand right now than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that all businesses, are recession proof. And, tech is one of those ones that there's still a lot of, jobs in that field right now. So I definitely feel blessed that we're in a space that's definitely needed right now.
Well, great to have you on. So question number 2 then, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
To me, it's about the people. To me, it's about community. I wouldn't do anything with people that I didn't love to see every single day. So I think that for me, about being a business leader, being profitable is very important. Running a very smart business is very important, and then doing it with people that you like to see every single day. That's key for me.
Not only enjoying what you do, but who you're doing it with.
Absolutely.
Very good. So question number 3, speaking of people, I hear from other business leaders that their people strategy in running their business can be more complex, difficult than their actual business strategy for their business. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, I think that if you surround yourself with people that make you a better person. So, I'm certainly not an expert in all fields. And so I like to surround myself with people that complete me and help complete the business, and, vice versa. So I always look for people that aren't necessarily like me, that don't necessarily think like me. I definitely want to work with someone that shares the same, passion for business and for life. And we have the same, kind of career strategic goals as the business is related. But certainly it's a good thing to search out diversity and to find people that don't necessarily think like you do. I think that makes for a more interesting team. I think the product is often reflective when you do that of what America, kind of looks like. It's diverse out there. There's a lot of different, folks doing great things. And I think that if the business mirrors the industry, and if you're providing a product or a service, I think it's really important to try to bring people into your team that think differently.
Well, it seems like for innovation in particular, that the diversity is really going to be helpful for increasing innovation in a company, especially in a high tech kind of area. So,
absolutely.
All right. So question number 4, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
So V-School has historically been an in-person and an online experience. Like, we had both modalities, right? But certainly a key part of who we were was bringing people from all over the country. And, people would fly in, we'd pick you up from the airport, we'd check you into your free student housing. You'd have a bus pass or a train pass. And before COVID hit, we were even trying to figure out how we would get a food meal, like a plan going. Not everyone can afford a healthy meal or 2 a day. And so people that are coming to V-School to learn coding or design, we wanted to essentially level the playing field and make it affordable and accessible for anyone that had the skill set to learn to code. So it doesn't matter kind of where you're from. What really matters is you have the aptitude and you have the grit, and if you have those 2 things, we're going to figure out how to make it work for you financially. And so that was our bread and butter. We'd bring people from all over the country. We attracted a very, very diverse, a very, very cool population. A third of our student body are veterans. About half of our folks are women. That's extremely rare in tech in general. And so companies love to hire from us because we're bringing in this amazing pool of humans. After COVID hit, obviously things went differently, right? And so we shut down our housing. We have this beautiful, 5th floor downtown on State Street, all of that had to transition online. So a big part of what we've done, keeping our soul as we've moved from an in-person to an online experience, we have to still keep that community intact, right? So people come to V-School because we're humans and we help each other. We're passionate about, yes, the business and yes, the tech, but we're passionate about who we are and how we help people and how we interact every single day. So I've spent a considerable, amount of my time on that community side. And my partner, Michael Zaro, he's the wizard behind, the screen, making sure that the curriculum is also, approachable and exciting and fun. And even though it's not an in-person experience, how do we keep that engaging? How do we make this human-centered? Everything from our events to our, our mentorship, our job placement, our curriculum, all of those things, moving from an in-person experience to fully online. It's all about keeping that soul power. It's all about making it very, very human-centered and not losing that as it becomes more digital.
Well, that's some great advice and strategy. Thank you so much. So question number 5, what other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to acknowledge here or you think would be good on this podcast?
Utah, right? So in Utah right now, we are in one of these kind of amazing times. It's an amazing hub for, innovation and for great startups. And so a few groups, I would certainly search out the Black Chamber of Commerce. I would look at people like Black Women Talk Tech in New York City. I would follow, the Melanin Project. I would follow some of these amazing Black leaders in our community that are really, setting the stage for diversity and inclusion in our own backyard. There's a handful of great groups that assist veterans. Veterans Ascend is a really cool one to follow. Search group partners, they're fantastic in terms of if you're looking for a job and you need to find a recruiter with a soul. We talk about soul power on the tech side. There's a few folks out there, right, that kind of understand humans, and they also have a real strong sense of, business acumen. And so between those things, kind of that's what I search out for. That's what makes me excited when I come across a founder or a startup or a nonprofit. They're doing those things. They're taking care of people, and they also have a really good business, good model.
A lot of good contacts and people that you mentioned there. So we're about out of time, but real quick, kind of a 6 final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
Absolutely. I had a boss who was, I won't mention this individual's name, but he was a politician in California, and a very, very, amazing person, great person, very, serious about the business, but also had a great, personality, but no nonsense. And we ran a startup, and I was in charge of the sales and the marketing team for this startup. It was later acquired, but in that acquisition, I was new to startups. And so to be honest with you, I didn't understand that once things are acquired or once that shift happens, teams change, jobs go away, other owners kind of come in. And so that was all new to me. And so in this transition, in the shift, and I went to this individual and I said, I'll call him Larry Bird, my favorite basketball player. I'll say, so Larry, I'm scared. And Larry Bird said to me, "You're Mo Reader." And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then he said, "No, you're Mo Reader." And that's all he said to me. And that to me made me feel, like I could do whatever I had to do. As a business leader today, I think back to those 3 words and I'm extremely grateful.
That's an awesome story. Before we go, tell people how they can get a hold of you.
LinkedIn, Mo Reader, MOREEDER, and vschool.io.
Again, great having you on. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. For more insights, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching on LinkedIn or on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.